Hey, what is happening, guys? This is Bharat Nagpal, and today we're going to be checking out the HTC One Max versus the HTC One. The HTC One, when it came out earlier this year, sort of put HTC back on the map, where everybody wanted to talk about their products and everybody wanted to get their hands on this unibody aluminum phone. The HTC One Max, with all essence to the name, is essentially a blown up version of the HTC One with a couple of differences in terms of aesthetics and software. So let's talk about specifications. If we talk about the chipset, both these devices come with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 chipset, which is the 8064T on the HTC One and the 8064 on the HTC One Max. Both the chipsets have quad-core 1.7 GHz on the CPU and Adreno 320 GPU, so essentially the same hardware when it comes to chipsets. Both these devices also have 2 gigs of RAM on the inside and 3264GB capacities on the HTC One and 1632GB capacities on the HTC One Max, with expandability up to 64GB. Now the back panel on the HTC One Max is removable. It is not on the original HTC One. However, there is a dual SIM variant of the HTC One available in certain markets, including India and China, where you can remove the back panel and add in a micro SD card up to 64GB, also add 2 SIM cards. If we talk about the displays, the HTC One has a 4.7-inch Super LCD 3 display with a 469 pixel per inch density. That's thanks to the 1920 by 1080p resolution. You also have Corning Gorilla Glass 2. The HTC One Max has a 5.9-inch Super LCD 3 display with a 337 ppi pixel density, which is also thanks to the 1920 by 1080p resolution. And you still have Gorilla Glass, but we are unsure what version it is, whether it's 2 or 3. Nobody really knows at the moment. Now HTC One runs Android 4.2 along with HTC Sense UI version 5, and the new HTC One Max runs Sense 5.5, which adds a lot of features. So the 5.5 version of Sense allows you to customize your topics, look for custom suggestions, it also allows you to follow custom posts. You can also subscribe to websites of your choice using the RSS feeds, and basically it lets you organize the Blink feed interface in a better format. You also get enhancements in the camera application, you get video highlights, and a lot more features in the day-to-day usage of the interface. You also get a new application called Scribble, which allows you to take notes just like you could on the Galaxy Note. Now HTC also sells a stylus, which it sells separately, which you can use to take down notes in case you want a stylus. But on the HTC One, you get Sense 5.0. It does not allow custom Blink feed interface. It is the standard Blink feed UI that you are used to. However, HTC is going to upgrade this device to give you a better Blink feed, or the new Blink feed, which is 5.5. If we talk about cameras, we have 4 megapixel cameras on the back. HTC calls this the ultra pixel camera. Both these have a 1/3 inch sensor with 2 micron pixel size. You can do simultaneous HD video. Over at the front, you have 2.1 megapixel cameras on both with 1080p video at 30 frames per second and HDR photography. Now here are the couple of differences in terms of the hardware. The inside, we have 2300 mAh battery on the HTC One versus a 3300 mAh battery on the HTC One Max. Definitely gives it a larger battery. On the HTC One, when you set it up, you get 25 gigs of storage with Dropbox, whereas on the HTC One Max, you get 50GB of storage on Google Drive, and that is added on to the 15GB that you already get. So you get a total of 65GB on Google Drive, which is one of the best things when it comes to software, we feel. Now if we talk about weights, we have quite a lot of difference when it comes to the weight. HTC One is 143 grams, whereas the HTC One Max is 217 grams, which makes it considerably heavy. The HTC One Max continues to retain the infrared sensor on the top, but the power button has been shifted to the right side to make it more accessible with one hand. The phone dialer, the messaging application are more or less the same. The larger keyboard makes it a little difficult to type on the keyboard using one hand, but it's possible if you have ginormous fingers, just like mine. Now we ran benchmarks to see if there's any difference when it came to benchmark score chart. Essentially with the same hardware and more or less the same sort of setup, we got the same result. So with the essence of it all, the HTC One Max is nothing but a blown up version of the HTC One with a larger display, a heavier battery, a heavier overall design. You have a removable back panel. You get upgradable micro SD card storage, and you can also use your fingerprint to unlock the device. Now, whether the fingerprint is a useful feature or not, we don't really know at the moment. At the moment, it just seems like a security feature. It allows you to quickly unlock the device, and that's about it. So it replaces the password input or a passcode input or even the pattern input with just a fingerprint input. The One Max has a beautiful display. It's really nice and vivid outdoors. It does appear to be slightly less bright when compared to the HTC One, but it certainly looks good and is visible outdoors. You still get boom sound on the front, but Beats Audio is missing thanks to the fact that the contract with Beats has ended and HTC no longer is a co-owner of Beats Audio. So you get boom sound speakers. Due to the fact that you have so much more space on the device, the boom sound speakers, the cavity on the inside is larger, so you get larger sound. We got really nice, heavier sound from the speakers in comparison to both the devices. So you'll definitely like that. The device does heat up from the back as well, and you can considerably feel that, but we still have a test unit. It's not the final unit, so we don't know if this heating issue is reminiscent or it's temporary. So just to sum it up, the removable back panel, additional storage, and the fingerprint sensor are the only three differences that we could find on the new HTC One Max, apart from the fact that it's a larger size and has a bigger battery. So if you're looking for a larger screen, more battery life, and a bunch of accessories to go along with it, the HTC Mini Plus works with both the HTC One and the One Max, and the flip case also only works with the HTC One Max. So you won't get a flip case with a battery pack for the HTC One, but you get additional battery for the HTC One Max that gives you up to 4500 milliamp hour in a smartphone, which is pretty good if you ask us. So there you go, guys. This was a quick comparison. If you don't need the big size of the screen of the HTC One Max, the HTC One still seems to be one of the best available devices in the market thanks to the build quality and the display. It was rated as one of the best smartphones of the year. Whether it continues to do so or not is something that you guys need to decide. If you have any questions or queries, do drop them in the comment section below. Do check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyan, youtube.com/iGyanTV for iGyan Networks. This has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.